What's up, guys? So let's talk about how to make money using labor points now and an efficient way to actually spend those. So let's talk about this first up because this is very, very important. Each server on Archeage Unchained is its own separate economy. It's always going to be different depending on population, supply, demand, who's trying to control and manipulate markets, what the meta is on the server. So in short, every server will be dramatically different from others. There are going to be some general trends, and this is going to talk about those. So I can't specifically tell you, go grow Azazel, because Azazel is really, really expensive. For example, on my server here, this is, let's see, it's the new one, the Jerkins. So Azazel is actually really, really profitable right now. And you can see here, Azazel is 19 silver per. You get 3 to 4 every time you harvest. It only costs 1 labor point to harvest. That's 60 to 80 silver per harvest. 60 to 80 silver per labor point. That's crazy. But you'll drive yourself mad and insane by doing single flower picking Azazels. Like, trust me, you'll drive yourself insane doing that. But it's great money. So if you're just starting on a server, and it's still kind of fresh, which all these servers are still fairly fresh, and the auction houses aren't really flooded with items. Check all the basic materials, see if anything is really out of whack like that. Cotton is another great one, because cotton, even though it's selling for fairly cheap, so 3 silver, 30 copper there, the reason cotton is good is because when you harvest it, it takes 1 labor point, and you get 8 to 10 cotton per harvest. So you get a lot. So even at 3 silver, if you sell them at 3 silver, you're still getting 30 silver point per labor spent on copper. So every cotton you harvest is going to give you 30 silver approximately, give or take, at this price. So cotton is very, very valuable just in general because you get so much of it. Another thing you want to take a look on is all of the pigments. So the pigments have each 2 components in them. So clover, I'm not talking the basic alchemy pigments. We'll show you them in a second. So clover, you need 20 of these. So it's always good to check clovers. Clovers are something to always check. It's always good to check roses. Not rosemary, just rose, the plain old simple rose. So you can see roses at 450. Rice. Rice is at 550. Corn. So not corn flour, just the basic corn. Corn is at 1250. So corn is one of the most popular crops to grow right now. The Narcissus. And this one is at 14. So a little bit better than corn. And there's none really on the auction house either. And you do want to click on this button right here to check sales history to see if it's actually selling at this price. So we'll see here, so today's low was 1, today's high was 15, shows you down the bottom there. So it's actually sold at 15. The average is 575. So it's definitely possible to sell it at this. And you'll notice this is a great thing here too. So this one, someone is trying to manipulate the market by putting up 1 flower at a really cheap price and then buying out everything else. So they're sitting there at the auction house. Do we have an arc? Yeah. So now if we were to have a bunch of arc and we look, we put it on here and we don't do our research, it's going to come up as 1 silver 9 because it always matches the lowest price on the auction house. But the guy is tricking the system here. The lowest price on the auction house is really 15 silver, but he manipulated it by putting 1 single flower up there at this 1.9 price. So you have to check, you have to look at prices. You can't just go by what the auction house tells you, because it's very easy to manipulate. This is a great way to make money, and it doesn't cost you any labor points either. So I should have thrown this in the other video. I did not, but that is something that you definitely want to do. And if you're playing the auction house, this is one of your tricks that you do to make money off the auction house. So he's going to be sitting there. He's going to be, refreshing. He'll probably be doing this on several different markets as well. And so then anytime someone puts up an item down at that 1 silver price, he gobbles them up really quickly and is like, haha, suckers. If someone buys his flower right here, so we're going to go ahead and purchase his flower, he'll just put up another flower at the 1 silver price in a minute or so, and again, adjust the price. Because even though we have bought out the flower right now, it will still, oh, they updated really quick now. So before, it used to linger for about a few seconds, like 10, 15 seconds. It used to linger there, but now they've improved the auction house, guys. So that's a cool thing. So it pretty much instantly showed us the new price being at $14.99. And all we had to do was buy one little flower, and we just rose the price by 14 silver. Look at that, guys. So let's continue on here. And then the last one is the Azazels. So Azazel is actually the highest priced one of all the basic materials that are used for pigments. Pigments. Pigments are an alchemy thing, guys, and this is something you want to get in the habit of looking on. So it's under processing, pigment, oil, polish. These are all used for pretty much everything. So your basic ones are small seed oil, and you can see it uses 3 onyx archeum essence, 20 rice, 20 corn, and that's going to be making a little seed oil. Pretty much used in everything. It's also used for a higher potion. But right now in the early parts of the server, you're not really using those. Polish. It's the Opa polish. Same thing. 3 and then 20 of the flowers. So this is going to be the main component, or one of the main components, where this onyx archeum essence is used. You use a bunch of it. You need a lot of these pigments. And these are also something else you should be on the lookout to see if they're valuable on your server, because it's just a couple clicks. You go to an alchemy table, you do this, you spend 15 resources on labor and combine these, and then you're going to probably make a pretty good profit. And then last one is this small root pigment. So same thing, 3, 20 clovers, and 20 roses. So let's go take a look at all these prices on the auction house, and now that you know the recipes, you know that they're fairly cheap to make. Alright, so we have listings on the auction house, and you can see it's pretty bare, which that means there's not many people selling them. And as you can see, it says my listing, so I'm actually selling a small root pigment. We looked at the archeum. Well, we haven't looked at the archeum yet, so let's go take a look. So archeum is approximately 180. We'll just say 2 for this experiment. Now, small root pigment is going to take 3 of them. That's 6 gold. And then it's going to take 20 of each of the flowers. We'll just round up and say each of the flowers is 10. So that's a total of 10 gold. And now we're trying to sell it for 13, and it's significantly undercut of this other one right here. Oh, and actually we screwed up. So we have a bid price of 10 right there. We definitely need to change that, because someone could simply bid on it and then lock that item on the auction house. That's not good. We'll touch upon that in another video though, but yeah. So here we go. You have to see what's selling. So we look here. No one's actually buying this one. So no one's buying the small root pigment. So I probably made a mistake in crafting it and trying to sell it. I probably should have crafted and sold the small seed oil, because if we take a look here, we got 20 and 16. So people are actually actively buying it, and the price is 20 to 29 gold. And the lowest one on the auction house is 25 gold right now. So this is definitely one that you probably should have done instead. So that was my bad. You know, I messed up. Like, oh man, I'm just going to craft this because I had the materials in my bag. Let's see if it sells. You got to look and see what is selling. And then, so let's look at the other one, the Opa. Let's take a look and see if anyone's selling. So Opa Polish is also selling 10 and 9. Not as much. So the most valuable one to actually craft and make a lot of money off of, because generally, guys, all these pigments and seeds, oils, are going to cost us 10 gold right now with the current auction house prices to make, and then 15 labor. So for that 15 labor, we're going to make anywhere between 5 to 15 gold, depending on where we sell these things. So that's a ton of gold. And we should probably make the small seed oil one. And so that's how you make money, by spending labor. You just think about what you need to grow, what you need to craft, and crunch the numbers. If this is not your thing, if this is something you're just like, nah, I don't want to do that. I like fighting, I like smashing mobs, I like combos. You can still make money, but your money is going to come from coin purses, and specifically the coin crates. Coin purses are really, really bad, but if you have 5,000 labor and it's just sitting there, it's capped, you want to use that labor. You don't want to have capped labor. So you'd open up a coin purse, which is around 2 to 4 silver in those coin purses per labor that you spend. So that's going to be your average ratio, around a 2 to 4 silver per opening a coin purse. But you do want to open up the coin crates. The coin crates will cost a lot more, and they'll have actual materials in them. And generally, the materials you can sell in the auction house for a lot more silver and gold than what you would with the coin purses. So, larceny can make money, but just open up the crates and disregard the coin purses unless you have max labor. You also can sell the locked chests that you get, so you can get locked silver crates, locked copper crates. You can sell those, and you can make a good amount of money off of those. Alright, so what do we need for the small seed oil? So we need rice and corn. So I'm going to go ahead now and start growing rice and growing some corn so I can make some small seed oils to make a bunch of money. Because, hey, it's saying that's the best pigment to sell. It's selling for around 25 gold. To craft this, it's only going to cost me 10 gold. And I'm going to make approximately, 10 to 15 gold profit. When you do sell it, you want to sell it on the auction house and you want to undercut by 1 copper. You do want to put a small quantity of items up. Yes, you can put as much as you want up, and people can buy as many as they want at a time. But the reason you put a small quantity, so this guy actually, he just sold 2 right now, if I remember correctly. It looked like he had 18 before, now he just sold 2 as we were talking about this in this video. So he made, a good chunk of money right there. But the reason why you want to put a small batches is because, so this guy, he put 5 up. This guy put 9 up. This guy undercut. These ones are going to sell out completely before anyone even touches these. No one's going to buy these. These are more expensive. Why would they buy these? And even though this one is the same price as this one is listed first in the auction house, which means everyone's going to buy this one because you buy the first thing you see. You don't buy the second thing. You buy the first one. So let's go grab some crops. Let's grow those seeds, and then let's sell some seed oils. And yeah, that's simply basic ways to make money, guys. So hopefully that helped you guys out how to spend your labor. And if you are labor capped, go mine. Mining is not a great money maker, but it's better than being labor capped. It will help you burn your labor fairly quickly. Another way to burn your labor fairly quickly is to process all the materials. So you'll have all these basic materials like raw stone, silver, iron, gold, copper, archeage, etc. Logs, leather, pelts, all these basic materials, and the conversion ratios are generally 3 to 1 on all these things. So you would just look at all of these, you'd be like, okay, stone, 3, and then look at how much the stone brick is. Stone brick, 15. So now you do 3.5 times 3, which is 10, and then now you look at like, okay, 15, oh, I'm going to make 3.5 silver. It's going to cost you 5 labor points, so that's not really good. You'd get better value by actually just opening up a coin purse. So you don't want to do that conversion. So you would look at like logs. Be like, hey, logs, okay. Logs are 23. We'll see lumber. 78. It's not worth it. Not worth it at all. You're going to make like 1 silver per labor point spent. Let's go look at cotton. And so you just get in the habit of looking at all these things to figure out what you want to process. If you have an excess in your inventory already, like right now I have just a shitload of raw stone. I could just go ahead and process it, but you're better off at this point just selling the raw stone as is and then buying something off the auction house that is going to give you a better ratio. So this is 330. Let's see how much fabric is. Fabric is 52. So that's a pretty good one. So cotton actually takes 10. So it's going to be 33 silver to make 1 fabric, and it's going to generate you around a 20 silver profit. That's 5 labor for 20 silver. That comes out to 4 silver per labor. That's pretty good. That's the best that we've found so far for just simply converting materials into bigger materials. So basic things like that. Alright guys, I don't want to go too deep. I can go talk about this stuff for hours and hours. There's tons of other videos on my channel about tips and strategies on this. We'll do specific videos later on and, give you secret tips and ideas. Check the folio, check around, do your research. There's a lot of money to be had. But again, every server is different. So I will talk to you guys later. Thanks for watching.